Welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to talk about a very important skill. How do you self-regulate? How do you let go when you find yourself mentally, emotionally stressed, contracted, anxious, tired, angry? How do you let go? And so that you can shift your energy, shift what goes on in your mind, and go to a greater state, to a state of expansion, to something that allows you to fundamentally respond differently to the situation that you have. This is one of the things that I believe is the most lacking in our world today, because so many people are mentally and emotionally suffering and they don't even realize they are. They just call it stress. They are hypervigilant. They are stressed out about everything, and they live in that state of survival where all those emotions, everything is piling up until a certain point where everything comes down, breaking. So we have to realize that if I want to create more successful living, more happiness, more prosperity, manifest better things in my life, I got to change my energy. You probably heard, especially in the spiritual community, that your vibration creates your reality, right? If you can raise your energy, you can allow more things that vibrate with that new energy, right? More quality, better people, more money, and so on. So that also means that if my energy is mostly how I feel, because emotions is energy in motion in your body, so you feel a certain way, you generate a certain energy. And when you're in a state of contraction, meaning anxiety, meaning stress, meaning anger, meaning guilt, meaning shame, meaning all those emotions, your energy is low. A lot of your energy is used for survival, is used to worry, is used to judge, is used to argue, is wasted on the situation, the problem that your mind has identified. And so when you live in survival, you have very little energy to create something else. And so you end up feeling exhausted. I'm dealing with that fire and don't even have time to build the successful life that I want, so to speak. So not only it can help you feel so much better, balance your health, your nervous system, right? To be able to relax, to be able to feel safe again, to be able to just feel so much better. So it's gonna really have a great effect on your health. But beyond that, when you can start to expand in a greater state of being, and in this channel we talk about this a lot, when you expand your relationship with yourself, when you change your self-image, expand your state of being, life starts bringing new things to you. Why? Because you've changed, your energy have changed. But if you keep living in anxiety, if you keep living in fear, if you keep living in anger, if you keep living in stress, so if you live in those states, what are you creating in those moments? What are you telling life? And if life is a mirror, what will you get back? Because life always agrees with your state of being. So being able to self-regulate will drastically improve the quality of your life and how you feel. Because even if you get everything you want, but you feel miserable, it's the ultimate failure. So might as well enjoy the ride, being able to get in that state where you feel happy, where you feel expanded, and lead your life from your heart. So the first step in being able to master self-regulation is to master the game of awareness, meaning using your attention to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Most people struggle to even know when they're in that state of contraction, that state of survival, right? They just call it normal. They go day by day, things are happening, everything triggers them. They go through the day and so many little things triggers them. They're running a bit late, boom, they see a message, boom, there's a bit of traffic and this and that, and somebody's wearing that, somebody's saying that. So they go through life being micro triggered by so many things. Eventually there's some bigger triggers. So there's always something in the external world that controls how they feel and then how they think, their perception, the mood, the attitude, and how they go through the day, the week, and ultimately their life. And so before we know it, we end up living in that emotional home, in that state of vibration, in the state of beingness that keeps on perpetuating certain things in our life. So awareness is the first step. And the first thing I want you to do is many times during the day, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling contracted? Meaning you're tensed up, meaning your mind is agitated, meaning your heart is beating fast, you're breathing faster. You really feel that contraction, physically, but also energetically. And that shows you that there is anxiety, that there is stress, that there is something in you, in your perception, in your body, that is creating that state of contraction. Yeah? Or are you feeling expanded? And if you pause and you ask yourself that question right now, notice, are you watching this video in a state of contraction or in a state of expansion? If you are in a state of contraction, you know that, okay, I am living basically what we could call in survival, or what people call in stress, meaning I'm in one of those lower state of consciousness, from fear, from anger, from jealousy, from whatever it may be. So I operate from that paradigm, meaning I use my energy, my attention, my thoughts, my actions, my behavior to create from that level. And life will meet me halfway with the same energy. But not only that, but it affects your well-being, as we talked about. So once you know if you are contracted or expanded, obviously if you're feeling expanded, great, you're doing something great, right? And you're in a good state. But if you're feeling contracted, then I want you to do step number 2. And this is how you start learning how to self-regulate. Because the first thing is that when you notice it, you're already doing much better than most people. Right now, I notice I'm in that state of contraction. What can I do? And there are many, many tools at your disposal. I invite you to find what works best for you. It also depends dramatically on what triggered you. Is it something minor, easy to shake off, or is it something much bigger, trauma-related, or something of this type that might be challenging, that might require more inner work, more healing to really be able to root out of your nervous system and your subconscious mind. Yeah. So there's a lot of context to be put into this step 2. But something that works very well for me is breathing. You know, when I notice that I'm in that state of contraction, one of the first things I try to do is to really take that big sigh of relief and to even shake it up a little bit, right? What some people like to do is they like to tense up and then release, right? To go from that contraction and to just relax a little bit. Take those nice, deep, slow breath. There are tremendous amount of breathing pattern you can use. You can use the square, meaning 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. So there is so many ways you can do that. Again, find something that works for you. But breathing is one of the best way to emotionally regulate how you feel in the moment, especially for little things. And the good thing is that you can do it anywhere. Another technique is to physically stand up and to shake, to really shake. This is a bioenergetic tool. So you take a minute and you just shake. It's like almost you jump, you shake, you shake, you shake. You see animals do that quite a lot. You know, when they're running, they go through a strong physical act, or they're angry, and then they go back to neutral. They have this shake. You see it with dogs, you see it with tigers, we see it with cats, we see it with many animals. So the act of shaking is that going from that survival response into that relaxed state, right? Is shifting the way your nervous system is operating from, so to speak. So that's another way that you can physically learn to shake it off, literally, right? You stand up and for a minute, you just shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. And at the end, you still yourself and you just take nice, deep, slow breath. And what you'll feel like if you pause and you try it right now is that it's almost like a reset. It feels very calm. It feels very peaceful. So those are 2 ways you can literally self-regulate in a way that is very healthy for you. Now, of course, like I said, there's so many different tools. I also invite you to pick up meditation so that in the long run, you can start to rewire your mind. You can start to pay attention, because awareness is the key, right? There's just so much more to this, because you gotta start managing your perception, the meaning you create, all those subconscious beliefs and all those things that are ultimately leading you to respond to being triggered, yeah? But you gotta have those tools to navigate life and to stop being so reactive to everything that happens, and to instead being able to go back in that place of calmness. And from calmness, you can expand in something much greater. So you can teach yourself again that I'm safe, I am well, my world is taking care of me, and it's time for me to welcome greater things, greater people, greater experience, greater perception, but also to use your energy to focus and create what you actually want in your reality. So I hope this video makes sense. I wanted to keep it very simple, very practical. Try it. Ultimately, what works good for me might not work for you, and maybe it will. But it's about finding the right tool that works best for you right now in your given context, in your given situation. Again, if you're dealing with some big triggers, those little tools might not help, and you might need more help, more healing to really root out those things. And if that's the case, I invite you to book your discovery call with me. We can talk about this and we can help you find something specifically that works for you to heal those unresolved negative emotions from your subconscious mind. All right. So with that, guys, thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you have any question down in the comment. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Be well.